Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Will and I am the founder and CEO of RAM Solutions. RAM Solutions is a company based in Costa Rica, Central America, but we also have offices already open in Florida, US. Our two business units are recruitment and automation. I am the lead of the automation unit and we provide automation solutions, and mostly all these automations are created in Power Automate Desktop. Today we have an interesting case. This is an internal process, but anyone that has the same situation can build a solution like this. Okay, so stay tuned and I will explain shortly what this process is about. Alright guys, so again, welcome to my channel. My name is Will and this is the process. We are going to build a solution. Well, it is already built on Power Automate Desktop, but I'm going to explain briefly every single action. If you want to learn more about Power Automate Desktop, how to use it, use cases, and more, I'm building a course and hopefully it will be launched soon. All right, so but let's cut to the chase and let's see the process. So the process itself is a really simple process, so to speak, but we have 35 emails, and out of these 35 emails we need to extract a PDF file. All right, now here's the thing. I can do this manually, but I don't want to, because those 35 emails I will waste a lot of time, at least 30 minutes or more. So I prefer to invest that time creating this kind of content so you can learn how to automate these kind of scenarios, these kind of tasks, and get the most out of the tool named Power Automate Desktop, which is an RPA tool, but you can create also robots to be on your computer, just desktop, and be your virtual assistant on a daily basis. So let's review the first email. So let's open this email, and as you can see, the subject line for this email is the same for all the other emails. So there is no difference between this subject and the other emails subject. And the same happens with the file. The PDF files has the same name, estado de cuenta, which stands, which on English is account statement, right? So that's the thing. I mean, I cannot only go and save the file because I'm going to have 35 files with the same name. Some of them is going to have number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But if I need to rename them, it's going to take a lot of time, right? The only difference on every single email is this keyword on every single body of the email, right? So all the emails has a month and a year. So what we are going to do, we are going to build a solution that is going to read all the emails. The robot is going to be working every single email at a time, and he's going to save those files on this folder on the right of the screen, and he's going to rename the file with a specific name and using the month and the year that appears on every single email. All right, quite simple, isn't it? So let's mark as unread those files. So like I said, that's kind of the session 1, which is the process itself. Now let's jump to the session number 2. All right, so let's go to Power Automate Desktop, guys. So this is the platform, this is the developer interface, okay? And this is the actions that we have already built into the robot that is going to do the work or the process that I have already explained in the first section, which is the process itself. Okay, now this is how I have built this robot to move every single file from Outlook to the folder that we have on the right. So the first action, in all these actions, those are really kind of self-explanatory, but we are going to go really quick over every single action and get the most out of this explanation. Okay, so take the notes that you need. So the first action, launch Outlook. This is really self-explanatory. What it does is that this action, the robot is going to launch Outlook. But if Outlook is already open, like in this case, the robot is going to get attached to Outlook and create this variable, which is kind of, the variables are like a tiny little boxes that contain information. And in this variable, what the robot has is that Outlook is already open. So he's going to use this variable Outlook instance into the next Outlook actions that we have here, which are the action number 2 and the action number 5. Now let's jump and open action number 2. We have the variable that we just saw, we have the email address for the account that the robot needs to connect, which is this Outlook account. We have the mail folder that the robot needs to look up for the emails, which is the main inbox folder and backslash, and this is the name of the second folder that the robot needs to work with. Then he's going to retrieve all the emails messages, right? No matter if they are read or unread, he's going to retrieve everything right now. And he's going to save that list of email, which is 35 emails, into the retrieve emails variable, which is a list. And we are going to use, you can see here, this variable contains a list of Outlook message objects, which means we have all the emails contained into that variable. We're going to look at this a little bit deeply in a few seconds. Let's click cancel. Okay, and now let's go to the action for each. This is a really interesting action. I really like a lot. There are different loops into Power Automate Desktop, but I really like this for each action. So I'm going to open this action, and we are going to be able to see that the value to iterate is the list that is contained into the retrieve email variable that was created in the previous action, in action number 2. All right, so what this does is that at this moment is working with the whole list, but every single time that the robot does a loop, right, he's going to get that specific email and put it into the next action. You see that it says store into the action name current item. So the current item variable is going to contain all the information for one email, right? So let's click cancel and let's run the robot till this point. There are two ways in which you can run the robot. You can use the run button, right, to run the robot. So he's going to run and do all the process, or you can run the robot using this button that says run action by action. So every time you press that button, he's going to move one step. So he's going step by step. So I really like this option, because you can take a look of the results of the variables, what information the variable has, what the robot is doing on every single action. So I really like it. I really recommend doing this for debugging purposes and for running the robot and see it by yourself, so you can review the actions here and take a look of all the information that the robot is putting every single time on every single variable. So let's use this one. So the first step is to run action number 1. As you can see, the robot highlights that action. He's not doing everything right now. when we press it, he's just starting. Right now we need to press again, so he's going to attach to Outlook and move to the next action. Okay, so now we have a Outlook instance. Basically, that's it. Now we are going to press it again and extract or retrieve all the email messages that we have, which are a total of 35 emails. Okay, so this variable, which is the retrieve emails variable, is a list. Okay, remember that. And in this list, I'm going to open this and make it a little bit bigger. But in this list, we have all the 35 emails. You can see there it says 34, but this is because Power Automate Desktop is zero base. So that means that for all the lists or all the tables that Power Automate creates, the first item is going to be always a 0, right? Now, this email, this is the first email, and if you click here in more, you are going to see all the information contained into that email. We are going to skip that for now because it isn't relevant to our purposes. So we are going to close here, okay? And we are going to explain the action number 4. But first, we are going to press the wrong next step. Okay, so we have the retrieve emails with a whole list, and when the first the action number 3 runs for the first time, what the robot does is that he puts one of the emails into the CurrentItem variable. So now we have the CurrentItem variable. We are going to open this variable and we are going to see this information. This information is for the email itself that was obtained. All right, so it says that it is located into this inbox folder and this subfolder. These are the bodies. This is the subject, which is the same for all the emails. Okay, and the important here part of this variable is that the CurrentItem has all these parts, and this specific part, the body, is the one that we are going to work with, right? So if we click on more, we are going to see the body of that email. That's what we need, and that's what the robot is going to use, okay, to look for the month and the year. That's the specific keyword that the robot needs to work with in the next action, right? So now we are going to close it, and we are going to stop the robot to be so we can be able to open the parse text action and explain it a little bit better. Going to remove that breakpoint, click stop, and open the action number 4. So as you can see, the action that the variable that we need to parse, and by parse is that we need to find a text, right? Specify as a subtext into the body of the email, and to be able to do that, we are going to use a regular expression. But first, let's go to the variable. Let's remember that the variables that contains that specific email is the CurrentItem, but we were looking at the body into that current email, right? So if I go clicking here in this blue box that has an X between brackets, it says, as you can see when I hover over it, it says select variable. So I'm going to click there and I'm going to type current. All right, you can see that we have the current action. If you click in here, you are going to get this result, right? But we don't want that. What we want is to get into the body that is contained for the email into this variable. So you have to click into this drop down here, and you are going to see now the body that is contained into the current item. Sorry. And Now you only have to click on the body. All right, and we are going to remove this, and there you go. This is the variable that we were having at the beginning, current item, which is the email, dot body. So the robot will be looking like in this way for that specific email, but only in the body. He's not looking at the subject, he's not looking at the subject, he's not looking at anything else besides the body of that specific email contains into the current item variable. If you have any question about this, if you have any doubts, um, please go to the comment section below, leave your message, and I will try to explain this better. All right, I think it's a little bit clear at this moment. Now, then the text to find. The best way to find this, let's copy this just in case. The best way to find this is using a regular expression. By default, these options comes enabled, right? Because you can put, let's say, a hard-coded text or sucks text here, so the robot can look at it. But we need to go over a 35 emails or more and look for different bodies and validate if that body contains a month and contains 4 digits, which represents um, the year. Okay, so let's enable this again. And what we are enabling is a regular expression or regex. If you don't know how to work with regex, you can go to ChatGPT. I have explained this on another video. You can go to ChatGPT, create a prompt, a simple prompt out of this, like out of this body from this email, I need to get the month and the year. All right, so this is kind of the result that you are going to get. So from here to here, the regular expression is looking for those specific keywords into the body. It needs to match the month. We have 12 keywords for every single month. Then we have um, also they have to match the word DE, and then this part of the regular expression needs to match 4 digits out of the year, right? For 2021, 24, and so far and so on. It has to start from the very beginning, right? From the position 0, and the final output or outcome out of this action is going to be saved on those variables. So the first variable, the position, is where that the first text to parse was found. All right, so actually we don't need this one. This one can be disabled, but we are not going to do it right now. We are going to cover that in another session. Then we have the match. The match is variable is going to contain the specific result out of the email body. That's the one that we want. And as you can read, it says the result that matches the given regular expression. So if into that body there is a specific value that match our regex or regular expression, that value is going to be saved into the match variable. All right, now let's click save. Now let's move into the action number 5. So it's basically the same to the action number 2. The only difference, if you can see it, is that into this part that says body contains, we have the previous variable that we just saw that says match. This match variable again is going to contain the month and the year. So the robot is going to look through the whole list of emails and get that specific email that match this. Okay, and if he finds it, he's going to save the attachment. That's what we need and what we want at this moment. And the attachment is going to be saved into this folder path. All right, which is the folder that we have at the right of the screen. And let's click save. And last but not least, we have the action number 6. The action number 6, what it does is that once we have the file into the folder, that file is going to be renamed, right? Because all the files have the same name, account statement. So we need to rename them. So what we are doing here is that we are going to rename the file just by adding text to the file already. And the text to be added will be this dash run solutions dash and the max variable value that was contained previously. So that value is going to have the month and the year, and it has to put that after the name. So it's going to save this as account statement dash run solutions dash the month and the year that was on the body of that specific email. We can put this at the before, but I don't really like that. If the file already exists, that we don't have any, probably there we are not going to have that situation. The file is going to be overwrite. Okay, and we are going to open action number 7. In action number 7, well, is the end of the for each. Usually in all the loops there is no action or actually an output or input at all, so there is nothing that we need or have to change to do here. All right, so we are going to run this again one step at a time the first time, and then we are going to press the run button so we can see the robot moving all the remaining files into the folder. All right, so we have already our file saved here, and now we are going to press one more time. And we are going to see that it was renamed. So it is a really nice automation. So far it's really simple, it's beautiful, to be honest. I love Power Automate Desktop. I know there are other RPA platforms out there, but I started back in the day, like 10 years ago, working with Wing Automation, Process Robot, right? Automations in Excel and scripting flows. And I really like how Microsoft has improved Power Automate Desktop over the last years. Okay, so basically, this is the conclusion of the session number 2 and how we have built the solution with Power Automate Desktop. All right, guys, so let's finish. This is going to be like the last session in which we are going to run the robot and see the robot in some sort of way processing all the emails. I was looking at the emails actually, and there were not 37 emails, there were 35. A couple were duplicated, and we have already deleted the file that we have here into this folder. Okay, in addition to this, I'm going to make a minor change here into this action, which is going to be to enable this option to mark as read the emails that we have here. So while we are going to see the robot processing one email at a time and putting that file here at the right on the folder, we are going to see over the left that the number of the file that needs to be processed are like gray out because the robot has already processed those. Okay, so let's start the robot. I'm going to click run, and you are going to see the robot getting attached to Outlook, retrieving all the files and processing every single file at a time. So this is going to take a couple of seconds. Okay, so I prefer to create this kind of automation and improve my skills on a daily basis and take advantage of the time that I know wasting processing one email at a time manually, but instead creating this kind of content that you can take advantage of. So here we have all the files, 35 files that were move and rename. Now at least I know which file each one, and I know have all the files having the same name, like account statement 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I exactly know which file is which or belong to which month. Okay, and as you can see on the left side, all the other ones have already appeared like gray out because they were already processed by the robot. In this same way, you can create a solution that can take a look every 2 hours or every now and then, look for a specific folder on inbox or directly to inbox, and if the robot finds the file that he needs to work with, he's going to process the file and move it and rename it. So guys, thank you so much for your time. I hope you learned a lot today, and give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. This is really important for me. I'm really open to feedback. Let me know how can I improve the videos, the content, so you can learn more and work less. All right. So happy automation.